Oh yeah, it is transplant day. Hey folks, so it is day 49 with our zucchini babies here, and they have successfully been hardened off over the course of the last 10 days, doing really well, really happy. Some flowers on there, it's begging to be moved into its forever home. So over the course of today's session, we are going to move it into its forever home, which is going to be this 5-gallon grow bag. Everything that we go through, it will be the same if you're using a 10-gallon grow bag or if you're putting it into a container or into a raised bed. So the method that we're going to be using to transplant it applies to all those different areas. And then once we have transplanted it, we will chat through what we're going to be doing over the course of the next 7 days here. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to grab our grow bag and we want to fill it up about halfway with our soil. It's really straightforward. 3 parts compost, 1 part vermiculite. I've got some of it pre-mixed here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Perfect. So I've got it filled up about half the way. And as I mentioned, this is a 5-gallon grow bag. You could absolutely do it in a 10-gallon grow bag as well. Zucchinis, they fall into our large plant category. So the more soil that they have, the more room that they have to grow, the happier that they're going to be. So now that I have the grow bag about half full, what I'm going to be doing is grabbing a handful of worm castings, and then about a tablespoon of superfood, about yay amount. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that all around there. And I'm gonna mix that in. Perfect. So next thing that we are going to be doing here is we're going to grab our zucchini baby and we're gonna pop it out of its seed cell here. And as we can see, the roots, they're starting to get a little bit bound. And so what we're going to do is we're just gonna loosen that up a little bit just by kind of gently massaging it. And what we're going to have towards the end here is the roots beginning to hang down below there. So that's perfect for right now. And what you might be able to see as well is I do have 2 zucchini plants here. So there's 2 that are growing at the moment. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to transplant both of them. And the reason for doing that is because if anything were to happen in this process and one of them were to die off, then we still have our backup one there. So all that we're going to do is we're going to place that into the grow bag here. And then we're going to grab more soil to backfill in and around it. And so just kind of hold the seedling as you move the soil all around it. Now, I'm totally okay with planting this seedling about halfway down and then leaving an inch or 2 on the top, because once it grows a little bit larger and we prune back some of this growth, I'm going to bring some more compost in there to fill it all the way up to the brim. And that's going to be in a couple weeks from now. So now that we have moved the baby in here and it's been backfilled with our soil mix, we're going to do 1 more handful of worm castings and 1 tablespoon of the superfood. So we go ahead and we grab our first handful of worm castings and we're just going to sprinkle that all around, and then 1 tablespoon of our superfood. Okay, here we go. All right, and then you're just going to gently massage that into the soil. This ensures that the plant has the microbes plus the nutrients down at the root system where we mix that initial bit in, as well as some up above here that's going to work its way down as we begin to water it. So last thing that I want to do here is I want to compact it just a bit so it's in there nice and firm. Not going to be moving around or anything. And then we'll finish off by just giving it a nice big drink of water here. Yep. Great. And don't be afraid to give it a really good drink of water here. Those roots are going to be looking for some water. Our zucchini baby is now into its forever home, just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk it over, put it where it is going to be living and hanging out for the course of the season here, and then we're going to continue to do our 7-day check-ins. Speaking of, in 7 days from now, we're going to check in on this zucchini baby, see how it's doing, how it's adjusting to its new home here. We might even start to do a little bit of pruning with it because we do have these really early flowers which we can pop off if we wanted to, but we'll check in 7 days to see how it's doing and make some decisions at that point. Congratulations on getting your baby to the point of moving into its forever home. If you followed all these steps, I'm sure that it's going to do really well. All right, and so the next video in this playlist is our day 56 check-in, where we're gonna see how our zucchini baby is responding to being outside under the sun in the elements. But on top of that, we're going to talk about watering and what changes now that it's outside, it's in a larger container or in a grow bag or in a raised bed. What do we need to take into what do we need to take into consideration from a watering perspective now that it's out there? So if you're curious about those pieces, I really encourage you to check out the next video, and you can do so by simply clicking on the tile right here. That's going to take you over to that video. Otherwise, that's everything that I wanted to cover off on for today. If you do have any questions, just ask those down in the comments below. Otherwise, you're doing absolutely amazing, and I'll catch you on that next video.